r/AskReddit. What's the most personal thing you're willing to share with us? Today I cut contact with my ex-girlfriend for the sake of my mental health. I'm actually already feeling better. Edit. First off, thanks for the gold and all the upvotes. I didn't expect that, lol. Second, I need to clarify. My ex isn't and wasn't abusive. She's actually a really good person. I wanted to try and be friends like she wanted, but I really couldn't. I decided that the healthiest thing for both of us is to just stop talking. I have no ill will towards her. Those of you in a similar situation, I applaud you for being this strong. Best wishes. I sharted on a blanket and threw it away. I played dumb to my girlfriend for about a half a year while she was constantly puzzled as to what happened to the blanket every time we sat down on the couch to watch TV. I finally broke down and confessed. I don't tell my friends, but they are pretty much the biggest thing keeping my anxiety and depression at bay, and I really appreciate them for it. I'd like to tell them but don't know how to bring it up. I didn't cry when I found out one of my friends from high school killed himself. It was almost half a year ago and not one tear has leaked yet. I knew him for years. We took our black belt tests together, and I was the stage manager for the high school theater and he did lighting. I had to break the news to so many people and yet I felt no sadness. As a guy who attempted the same thing not a year previously, I'm still frustrated at my lack of emotion towards it all. Especially when I see our friends posting about how much they still miss him. Damn. Everyone's sharing super sad and real stories and here I am to say I trusted a fart and shit my pants at the age of 27. Luckily I was home, but I was still mad at myself for making such an elementary mistake at an age where I should know better. I was evicted from my childhood home when I was 15. My mom couldn't keep the place up by herself after my brother moved out. She didn't know what to tell me, so she didn't. She had me take a bag with me when we went to my stepdad's for a weekend over the summer. A weekend turned into 2 weeks, turned into a month and turned into the entire summer. Finally she told me what had happened and because she didn't know how to tell me, she chose not to. I lost everything and slept on stepdad's living room sofa for 2.5 years. It's one thing to have lost my material belongings that can be replaced like my computer, video game consoles and such, but I lost irreplaceable things like the memory box I started when I was 7. My childhood photos and all the dolls my dad had given me throughout the years. My dad has been gone 5 years now, and those dolls are something I wish if nothing else I could have saved. Edit. Thank you everyone for sharing and such. Yes, my mom did move with me to my stepdad's. She left all our things behind so she wouldn't draw suspicion, I guess. Whenever I'm alone with my own thoughts, I can shift moods in legitimate seconds. 1 second I'll be dancing around my room super happy and the next moment I'll be bawling on the floor hating myself. It's a literal emotional roller coaster. Edit. I did not expect anyone to see this, let alone getting this much support. I've never thought about seeing a doctor for this, but with all these suggestions I think that I will soon. Thank you everyone. I both long for and am afraid of intimacy. I prefer to be alone, yet always feel lonely. I once dreamt I had sex with a biscuit, then got pregnant. I'm male. Edit. Also in the dream the biscuit was male and I was female. Edit. It was an Anzac biscuit. My anxiety disorder is more severe than I'll let on. When I am alone, it is pure hell. I think my dad could be struggling with something. He's a pretty reserved guy who keeps to himself most of the time and likes to be alone often. I found out my mom's cancer has spread to her bones today. I just want to make sure she's able to keep as much comfort and dignity as she can with the time she may have left. Edit. I really am overwhelmed by all the kind words everyone has sent me. There's been so much good advice. You've not only helped me feel better about my mom, you've also helped me feel encouraged that kindness still exists in the midst of all this darkness, and that there's a lot of us going through the same stuff. Hug the ones you love and don't be afraid to be kind. I never knew my father. My brother was always more upset about it than I was. The father guy ran away when I was less than a year old. He later killed someone. went to jail, and now is living in an assisted living facility on parole. We did not know his real name until recently. My mother named my brother after him. So, we found out that the name was fake. But, my brother's middle name turns out to be my father's real name coincidentally. Could you imagine the dude's reaction when my mother suggested the middle name? That would have been funny to see. Edit. My brother's first name is named after the fake name. My brother's middle name coincidentally happens to be the real name unbeknownst to my mother. My mother, a schizophrenic drug addict, screamed help me before putting a revolver in her mouth and pulling the trigger. I was the only one home and wasn't able to dissuade her. I was a young child. I've had nightmares every night since. For 17 years. The only time I'm able to sleep soundly is when my partner is sleeping next to me. He unknowingly heals my worst trauma just by snoring and holding me close. Haha. Edit. Ro. I don't think I'll ever be able to reply to all these messages. Thank you so much for the silver and golden comments and upvotes. No need to type out a diagnosis for me. I've been to therapy and have a great support system around me that I'm very thankful for. Trauma is something that I have a lot of, and I use that trauma to fuel my art. I'm just another queer kid who got scratched up along the way. Is all. No need to worry. See? My mother just kicked a hole in the wall. I'm on Reddit trying to calm down since none of my friends are awake. Edit. I'm doing okay now. I just have to be a bit wary of things for a day or two. Some people have asked why my mom kicked the hole. And it's because she was fighting with my dad. They've been fighting more often for the past 5 months or so. I don't know what they were fighting about. Just that it got to the point where she kicked the wall. I carry a picture of my female friend with me at all times. It's hidden in my wallet. I wouldn't say I have strong feelings for her, but I just like looking at a picture of someone that has been there for me even when times were rough. I feel like I'm overreacting when it comes to my mental health. I think I'm depressed or anxious. I've contemplated suicide multiple times. But I'm too scared to say anything. Especially to any professionals. Because it might not be good enough. In my 21 years I have never been in a relationship or even kissed another person. That wasn't family. I had a urethroplasty. My entire urethra from the tip of my dick to my prostate was replaced with skin tissue grafted from the inside of my cheek. It was a long, painful, and humbling recovery. Edit. So many great questions and comments. I'm doing great now. So glad I had the surgery. For those who need the surgery as well, make sure your urologist has done this many times before. I was lucky to have one of the best doctors at performing this procedure. While the physical recovery was painful, the psychological recovery was even more of a struggle. Waking up to morning wood, sharp shooting pain in the first few days and weeks was tough. I struggled to sleep much. I ended up seeing a therapist because I was afraid of getting a boner. My therapist diagnosed me with PTSD. I've used mindfulness and little blue pills to overcome it and no longer have an issue. My wife and I are pregnant with our second kid. I wish it whistled when I peed. Fun fact. Grafts from inside my cheek was used because it's the only accessible tissue without hair follicles. Someone post that until. I never wanted to die. I just wanted the pain to stop. I wish I could tell 11-year-old me to put the pills down. Because it was the beginning of my mental health struggles that I'm only now just starting to recover from. But it's hard knowing physically I'll never fully heal from the damage I have done to myself. This will get lost in the chaos and that's okay. I just wanted to share my truth. I got a call from Be The Match, the National Bone Marrow Donor Registry, on Friday. It seems I came up as a possible match for a 9-year-old boy with leukemia. I just finished signing consent forms and filling out the medical questionnaire today. And I have some further testing to confirm the match later this week. Edit. Thanks for the gold, silver, platinum. Kind strangers. And especially thank you for all the kind words and the support. I'm no hero. But I'd like to think of myself as a new member of this kid's team trying to help him kick leukemia's butt. I'm finally facing the ugly truth of age and mortality. My parents and a few other relatives who are in their early 60s now are having a multitude of health complications from mental illness to cancer, and it's scaring the shit out of me. I'm only 26. And I think back to when I was a kid and everyone was perfectly fine. Just doesn't seem that long ago. Edit. First, thank you kind strangers for my first Reddit gold and silver. I've read through just a few comments. Didn't quite expect to wake up to 280 plus notifications. Lol. I've made it a goal as of recent to try and set more time aside for family. And seeing everything unfold these past few years helped me realize how important it is to not take for granted the time you have with those you love. THX again for all the responses and support. This is small fish compared to a lot of you. But I recently started trying to teach myself piano. I'm terrible but getting better. I don't want to tell anyone because I get major anxiety and can't perform. Haha yes sex jokes when I'm put on the spot. I contemplate suicide because I feel like I'm not cut out to do responsible adult stuff. My girlfriend since high school has schizophrenia. I love her with all my heart. But there are days when it's really hard. I am patient with her and try helping her and convincing her to take her meds. There have been months where she isn't herself and breaks up with me. That's the hardest cause, even though I know she's doing it cause her condition. I can't force her to be with me. She has never been with other man. And damn, she is the love of my life. She shines like no one else I've ever seen. My family and friends would prefer I left her. But they know I won't and they respect that, which is nice. I guess. We have been self-harming free for the last 3 months, which is also nice. Edit 1. Seriously thanks for the love support. And for everyone worried. I will take care of my own mental health too. Thanks. Really. Also, thanks for the gold kind stranger. I talk to myself constantly. Sometimes I talk to myself in the mirror when I think I look good. While driving alone I have full-blown conversations with myself. Other drivers have noticed before and it was pretty embarrassing. I'm having surgery Monday and I'm afraid I won't wake up. I have 2 kids and I don't want to be done watching them grow up. I've been dating the most wonderful guy for a month now and I have anxiety every day because he's so sweet and affectionate and I feel like I'm not worthy of it, and he'll realize soon that he can do much better than me. I haven't had depression, that I know of, for years. But I wildly fantasize about dying. My dream is to drive or take a train to a city at night. Buy some snacks. Eat them on the overpass as I watch the lights and then jump off, inevitably leading to my death. It gives me excited butterflies thinking about it and I don't know why. Had the fantasy since I was 14ish. I'm now 22. Never told anyone until now. Edit. I appreciate all the concerning comments but I don't think I'd ever go through with it. I'm totally aware of how it would affect other people, etc. It's likely the main reason I wouldn't do it. It's just a fantasy. I would love to run away for like a year and just not give a shit about anything. As long as my kids wouldn't hate me and be cared for. And I didn't have any fallout in my marriage. I wouldn't cheat. I'd just go and not worry about bills or politics or if I screwed my kid up too bad today. IDK if this counts. Edit. Thank you all for being so kind. I pop on right after getting the kids down for a nap and I'm just floored. This is a fantasy I've had pretty much my whole life. I love the idea of traveling and being on the move. However, I found out that I don't really like people and I'm actually pretty good at this mom thing, lol. My husband and I are discussing moving from the US to Europe in the next 2 years with all the kiddos, 10, 7, 5 years old, so I'm sure that will help with some of the wanderlust. And that will be more fun. BC my husband is legit my best friend and we will make bad puns the whole time. I'm 16 and I still sleep with my baby blanket. But it's not like I can't sleep without it. It's just nice. I've been raped when I was 14. Attempted suicide 3 times in the following years. I turned 18 3 days ago. I rubbed one out in a bathroom stall at my friend's bar mitzvah ceremony. I had recently learned how to find porn on the internet and Pamela Anderson got the best of me. Circa 1995. I got PTSD last year from seeing my father get murdered. I'm currently 347 days clean from self-harm. Edit. Thank you for all the support and silver and gold. I was beaten to the point of miscarriage when I was 17. I now cannot have children. Edit. Thank you all so much for your words of support. And the silver and gold. I'm humbled by the reminder that there are truly kind people in the world. My husband is in prison. I was recently diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's. Edit. Row. Thank you all so much. For the silver. The gold. Your messages and all the words of encouragement. I am doing fine as of right now. Still processing. I do know that I have a good support system in place and I'm going to tackle this thing head on. I am going to continue to live my life the best way I know how until I'm not able to. I'm not going to let this define who I am. Again. Thank you all so much. My mom is sick and disabled and I don't know how much longer she's got. I've stopped talking to my dad because he is an abusive prick. My sister is so burnt out from having to care for mom 24/7 that she's lashing out and obviously depressed. I'm staving off depression because I'm stuck living with my father who I've not talked to since November and all he does is glare at me anymore. I have days where I struggle to just get motivated for work. I love my dad and I'm sure he loves me. But we haven't told each other for 20 years. My boyfriend is abusive. 2 weeks ago. He choked me out while we were showering together. I woke up on the bathtub floor screaming and crying. I don't know why I didn't end it that day. I'm going to break up with him this morning because yesterday he started, for the umpteenth time, begging me to wear makeup even though I hate it because I look ugly as shit without it. Edit. Holy shit, this blew up. Sorry for worrying everybody. This morning I broke up with him. Then went with 2 friends to his house and collected my things. Then I went home and cried my eyes out and woke up about an hour ago. I'm safe and looking forward to counseling and healing. Thanks so much for the compassion and care you guys have sent my way. Bless you guys. Update. I'm graduating university next month and I'm terrified of not being able to find a good job. Edit. Thanks for all the replies. You all are so kind and helpful. 3. I have a retail job RN so I know I won't starve in the short term lol. My major is psychology and minor is business administration. I kinda wanna do marketing or HR with it. You all have made me feel much less lonely. I want to die but I'm too afraid of fucking up to do anything about it. Edit. I wasn't expecting this to hit so close to home for so many people. In a way I'm glad I'm not alone but I'm also pissed that this is as common as it is. I honestly wouldn't wish these thoughts and feelings on anyone. Absolutely no one deserves the pure agonizing misery that is clinical depression. I can spout encouraging words until I'm blue in the face but it's useless babble unless I fight for better mental health care. I really don't want to get political but we have to look out for each other. Now more than ever. This is a global issue. We have to find a way to save lives before it becomes a crisis. There has to be a better way. Something that helps people before they down a few hundred pills. Before they have a razor to the wrist. Before they step off that ledge. Before someone feels the cool steel of a gun barrel on their temple. I don't know if I want to die but I know I'm so very tired of living. I've been having an anxiety attack for the last 30 minutes. But if anyone asks I'm fine. I lost my job yesterday. I'm so emotional lonely. I hate to admit it but I really wish I had the cheesy romantic love interest but I am more like a character in a background. Update. Thank you guys so much for the sliver and gold. I have been trying to love myself but sometimes it get hard. I just really want to believe there are good guys out there that don't want to just hook up with Reddit boys. I want that gummet shit where we both work in the relationship and we'll laugh at each other's farts lol. I'll try harder guys, I will. I was hit by my ex yesterday. Haven't told anyone about it. Probably never will. Edit. He became my ex afterward. I do not trust easily but fully believe this man wouldn't do that. It was just a normal visit with him until I wouldn't give in to something. I took it as a joke at first and then he got violent. I never thought that maybe I shouldn't trust him. I had no idea. If I would have thought he might be the type I would have never gone over there. Thank you for the support and advice. I'm lonely in my marriage. My lovely husband is a kind man. But I have Asperger's and he doesn't understand how much a struggle everyday life is for me. So we don't talk much. I am the product of all my family's mental health issues rolled into a person. And this overwhelms my parents. I am 28. Uninsured. And can literally do nothing about it now. Recently when I get high I've been having a lot of repressed memories come back. I'm like 75% sure my father molested me at some point, but I'm terrified to address this further. And this is first time I've expressed this to anyone else. Edit. I went to bed after I posted this and I woke up to so much support. Thank you. And I'm so sorry for others who have gone through this too. Yes, it's weird. When it's happened I'm no more high than usual. I'm aware that this could be a false memory and I hope it is. I know I need therapy for many other reasons, but it's scary and hard to find one with my insurance. I had a foursome with my girlfriend. Best friend and his girlfriend after drinking one night. We have not talked about it since. I've gone to post like 5 different things on this post but haven't actually built up the courage to post any of them. I'm thinking maybe I have an issue with sharing personal stuff with people. I'm so alone. I'll take whatever form of affection I can get. Even if it's from someone I shouldn't be associating with. And I can't stop myself. Edit. Thank you all for being so nice and kind to me. Made my day 10 times better. I wish all of you only the best in life. Edit 2. Guys, I can't even keep up. I really am crying now. I really don't know what to say except thanks to all of you who have helped me. Doesn't matter if it was a little or a lot. You guys are amazing. I'm helplessly in love with one of my friends and in a loveless relationship. I'm constantly afraid that the last conversation I had with my mother will be the last one we ever have. P.S. I'm 13. My mom is 49. I'm afraid I'm gonna be stuck at my job for the rest of my life because I don't know what else I'm good at. It's not a bad job, but it doesn't really pay great and the hours are odd. It's not really something I want to be doing for too much longer, but IDK what else to do. My girlfriend and I recently started saying I love you to each other. It's my birthday. Thanks everyone for the wonderful and kind birthday wishes. Everyone keeps telling me I'm intelligent and that I'm so knowledgeable, but deep down I just feel like an idiot faking his way through everything I've accomplished. I have a long history of being sexually abused and I've been relapsing into dark places and thoughts because of it a lot more recently. It's heavily taking its toll and it scares me. As an uncircumcised male, I did not learn to peel back the foreskin to clean the glands until 10 years of age. My first cleanse was met with a vile stench and about as much cheese as a small Wisconsin town. I wear shorts from when I was 6 still. They still fit me. Edit. I'm a female, not a man. I wasn't offended by people thinking I was a dude. But just to clear it up, I am a female. My friend, male, came to stay at my, male, house. He's a sleep hugger, as I found out, because he ended up cuddling me through the night. We made many jokes about it later. What I didn't tell him, though, was when he was hugging me in his sleep. While I found it awkward and hilarious at first, I started to cry because it was the closest human contact I've had in a few years and it felt so good. And I felt pathetic for it. My dad died today. I just want physical contact with my GF. I keep trying to hold hands with her, but she keeps refusing. She gets uncomfortable with physical contact, but I just want my feelings for her to be reciprocated. I had sex with my half-brother. No, I won't admit this under my usual name. People ask why I'm single and I tell them because I'm too busy or have no time. But the truth is, I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. I always self-sabotage and do something wrong when I start seeing someone, and so it never really ends well all the time. I prefer to be alone since at least I don't get hurt. I mutter to myself at least one time a day, will someone be a good guy and just fucking shoot me? Great line I took from a great mini-series, The Pacific. But also, I have been really fucking miserable, depressed, and usually do want to just fucking die. Turning 30 in less than a week. I feel 95. I'm 24 and I have a 3-year-old daughter. Because her mother, my ex, is a nurse in an elderly home, she has to work all the time and therefore she spends most of her time with me. I love her very much but I just can't seem to spend time with her easily. I don't have that much energy and I find it incredibly hard to keep her entertained. I'm an alcoholic. Nobody in my life knows and I've got scarily good at hiding it. The first time I masturbated was when I was 16. On the night after I took the World History AP test. I have a fetish for caring for injured people. I'm not sadistic. And in fact I'd never be able to let go of the guilt for even accidentally hurting someone. I just get a sexual rush when I see even a moderately attractive person injured. I know it's normal to want to care for injured people. But my brain is straight up telling me to have sex with the person I'm caring for. I'm also studying nursing right now, so I'm worried that my fetish will affect my performance. Edit. I think I need to clear up some misconceptions. I am a girl. I am bi. And severity of injury turns me on more. I also will use my willpower and desire to avoid extramarital sex to avoid exploiting patients. I might show signs of arousal. Be more insecure. Be more clumsy. Or even masturbate when I get home. Even then, I wouldn't bring up my attraction in any setting unless asked. Much less have sex on the judge. I can't control my poon. But I can control my brain and body. You can PM me injury pics if you want it will most likely get me going. But don't do it to guilt trip me for something in return. When I was at my worst in depression, the only reason I didn't kill myself was because I'm uber competitive all the time. My mind told me that if I killed myself I would be letting everything that pushed me down win. And I don't lose. Me and a friend sucked each other's dicks in middle school. I've mentioned it to a few friends once or twice but they think I'm joking. Neither of us were hard or even finished, so I chalk it up to half-assed experimenting. And my jizz is too salty for my tastes. I haven't had sex in almost 10 years. And I'm mad lonely. Too shy and anxious for whatever the dating scene is. And genuinely afraid I'll never have another romantic partner in my life. I wanted to commit suicide by running my car off the road tonight. But didn't because no one would look after my tarantula and I love her. I have bulimia but no friends or family know. The most shameful purge I've ever done was throwing up in the bushes behind a funeral reception hall. Because I ate some pasta at said reception and couldn't handle it. Edit. I can't thank everyone enough for all the kind comments and support. I am currently in an outpatient program and it's helped simply by getting me to admit that I have a problem. And to talk about it for the first time in almost 10 years. I'm 31 and still have 2 baby teeth. I need a friend. I have an STD. I'm so used to people not listening to what I say or just like cutting me off, that I've taken the habit of stopping to talk myself. As in when I want to tell a story or SMTH like that. I stopped and then I'm like yeah. But that's just useless and nobody cares, so I immediately stop. Even when people are actually listening. And this was really hard to write cause I feel like it's useless. I sometimes play with the hair I have near my anus. Edit. I wash my hands after and before. I'm making fucking mac and cheese and nobody can stop me. Mom died from assisted suicide in March. A coworker that I worked with for 5 years counted suicide a few days ago while leaving his wife, who I oversee, and kids, and I am having trouble with it. Sharing to vent. Not for a solution. Can't fix THJS. I grew up in an extremely abusive household and as a result I resort to physical pain whenever I feel emotional pain. My boobs are very sweaty right now. I came to the point where I usually delete my comment before posting it because I think nobody will take me seriously or read what I have to say. I have severe IBS and can barely control some body functions because of it. It causes me to get really sick for days at a time at the end of every month. I try to keep it a secret, but I know that everyone else at my school knows and that they don't like me because of it. I'm 3.5 years into the career I dreamed about as a child and I can't fucking stand it anymore. I have no backup plan and I feel guilty that so many people I cared about cheered me on to follow my dreams. Edit. The field is graphic design and I've just started working at my third company. What I am most struggling with is the work we are assigned to do is dull subject matter and all creativity is sucked out by client amendments. Throughout all the companies the design team is villainized by the more client-facing roles and sales teams, with their team leaders often accusing us of insubordination for trying to uphold the brand guidelines. We work long extra hours with no reimbursement or praise and I'm really feeling the burnout. I have 2 kittens. Had them for 8 months now. And I'm constantly worrying about whether I'm giving one of them more attention compared to the other because she has been to the vets a lot. I often think about how the other must feel left out, jealous, and maybe that's why she doesn't sit with me. If you want to get nothing in return, you can like and join my Discord. There is a link in the description.